My son loved Northern Ireland, Mr. Robinson. He taught a great deal of the people over here. Unfortunately, he didn't live long enough to really appreciate the place.
Robinson takes the opportunity to focus on the ruthlessness of the IRA while emphasizing the peaceful side of unionism.
The IRA aren't interested in anything other than destruction and getting their All-Ireland Republic, whether it's over the bodies of people in Northern Ireland or of soldiers coming from the rest of the United Kingdom.
But the one man I really wanted to speak to was Mr. Gerry Adams, and he refused point blank to talk to me. I had a few choice questions for that man. Why he won't meet me, I don't know.
Sinn Féin, the political wing of the IRA, refused to agree to a meeting between its president, Gerry Adams, and Walter Green. They argued that British politicians were not asked to meet relatives of dead IRA men. We sought out others who knew the Republican case.
We're going to talk to now somebody who is the father of an IRA man who was killed.
I'd like to hear what this man has got to say to me. His son was killed. My son was killed. They are completely different circumstances. No, I'd really like to meet him to see what he has to say.
Mr. Vincent Kelly's son Patrick was killed last year in an SAS ambush at Loch Gore. Mr. Kelly admits his son was a member of the IRA.
Mr. Kelly, please. Thank you. I understand you're over here on a visit to visit various people to find out what actually how takes place here, or why your son was killed.
Yes.
I can give you a fill in the background of my son, who's also killed in this war that's taken place in the north of Ireland. My son Patrick was 30 years of age, married, a young wife, 3 young children, but chose to go out and fight for the freedom of this country. And that's how he met his death.
Mr. Kelly, Britain isn't at war with Northern Ireland.
Oh,
Northern Ireland is a part of the mainland. There are 1 million Protestants who wish to remain part of Great Britain. Why should just a few, same as your son, want to impose their will on others?
Why you say 1 million Protestants? What about the rest of the people in Ireland? It's a 32 county Ireland. Britain come in and cut a slice off a country and says this is ours. No Irishman can accept this. Well, how would you feel if the same thing happened in your country? A slice of your country is taken off and said, right, this is a majority here wants to remain part of Ireland, or whatever the case may be. How would you feel about that, or what would you do about it?
There's no way would I take up a gun and go around killing innocent boys.
Innocent boys? Who's the innocent boys?
My son was innocent, and his 5 comrades on the day they were murdered. They were trying to raise money for charity for here in Northern Ireland.
But your son...
My son wasn't armed. He didn't have a chance to fight back. Some skulking coward, and that's all as I can class him as, planted a bomb underneath his vehicle.
Oh,
your son, when he was killed, was about to commit murder.
Oh, no.
Murder of another Irishman.
Fighting for the freedom of his country. You just can't say it's Northern Ireland belongs to Britain. It's not even Northern Ireland, north, east of Ireland.
Let's see if we can't find some way of stopping it. You've lost a son and I've lost a son.
Well, there's far too many people have lost their sons.
How many more sons have got to be lost?
Well, the fault lies with the British government. The British government can solve this problem tomorrow morning by giving a declaration of intent to withdraw from our country. The future will be decided by Irish people and not be decided by a British government.
It will not be decided by the gun and the bomb.
Well, unfortunately, it's the only language that Britain never understood. This is the unfortunate fact of the situation.
It's the only language that you want to use. And I'm sorry, but there is just no way I can accept what's happening over here.
Well, maybe if I had longer at it, or if I could meet you again sometime and have a good talk with you, maybe I'd get you around to thinking the proper way.
No, Mr. Kelly, you would never get me to think anything else of what's happening over here.
I can't understand.
If you could see my wife at home, the way she's suffering.
I know. What about our feelings when we see our son's been killed? My son was
your
killed, the only son I had.
Yes.
And a good lad.
I repeat what I said before, that your son was about to commit murder.
My son wasn't about to kill. My son was out trying to free his country. It was occupied by British forces. And he's out to try to do his bit to try and drive him out of the country.
Mr. Kelly, you have your ideas, I have mine. I can't convince you, and there's just no way will you ever convince me for the reason of my son's death. The only thing I can say to you is thank you very much for allowing me into your home and giving me some of your time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
For myself, and I know that I speak for Padraig, Keenan and Siobhan, that we would love for Daddy to be here with us and watch us grow up, but we understand what he did and why. In one of his letters he wrote while he was in jail, he says that his family means everything to him and that he has strong beliefs and that he is doing it for his children and his children's children, and that he didn't want us to go through what he went through as a child growing up. I also want to mention Mummy and Bert for everything that they've done for us, looking after us, and never to let us forget our daddy. We are very honoured and very proud of who our daddy is and what he fought for. And there's a little poem which I came across on Daddy's memorial card which I'm going to read out. A father is always patient, kind and true. No other friend in the world will be the same to you. When other friends forsake you, to Father you will return. For all the loving kindness he asks, nothing in return. As we look upon his picture, sweet memories we recall of a face so full of sunshine and a smile for one and all. Sweet Jesus, take this message to our dear Father up above. Tell him how we miss him and give him all our love.